One. Yeah, creators can't afford to go there. I don't know what that is. Okay. We're going to talk about something that is like this. I'm Matias Pal-Jensen. I'm founder and I work with Far. I don't know if you know what that agency is. That one is strong. It's like the Tom Jones one, you know. And Robert is from Forsman. It's a Swedish agency. My agency was Swedish. It's dead today. I actually have my co-founder for Farfar here sitting in the audience. He's now a super creative at Sapien Nitro in London. Anders, hi, one of my best friends. And I'm, you know, we've been through this. We've been through this decade of digital and everything that happened from different angles in a way, but both Forsman and Farfar was part of like the digital wonder, whatever we can call it. This is actually an everyday picture of me, 10 years I was at Farfar. Yeah, it was like that. And then this is a Robert Lund image. Yes, he's sitting there. Wait. And this is when he took his last Titanic. There will come some more now when we're with McCann. Now we're with McCann, and McCann has a motto, truth well told, established like in the beginning of the last century, 1911 or something. And you know, truth is more important than ever in advertising. Everything's transparent and you can't pay anymore. It's just award shows to try to fake. I'm Innovation Officer and Robert is Creative Director in New York. We're in London, New York, and we try to build a bridge between us. And we'll come to the work in that way. These are the guys we meet every day at the office nowadays. I don't know if we're happy about it, but they're happy about meeting us. So we have kind of nice ambience anyway. And these guys have been in advertising for 100 years. They look younger, but they've been around for 100 years. And they probably know what they do because they're quite successful. You know, McCann is the biggest advertising agency, built by the biggest network, yada. But they know what they're doing. So at some point you have to learn from them. And they have used different tools during this time. And the tools are the things that differs them from us. Someone's waving up there. Is it to me? No. Shame. Yeah. You know, TV, Technicolor. Technicolor was actually invented by the McCanns. So we've been part of innovation even in the 30s and the 40s. You can't believe that, because everyone thinks like, now it's time for innovation in advertising. But it's always been like that. Now we'll show you a nice little film, just to feel the groove, about a guy who came to McCann and he reinvented a channel. At that time we talked about channels, we don't do that anymore. But he reinvented the channel. I'll give you this. would love to be next village McCann. I'm not black, but I think that was a big sensation. It took a black man to Madison Avenue, actually. You know, that was quite a rumble at that time. And I think he did something for advertising that no one actually thought about at that time. And he brought a new kind of creativity into already a channel that really already existed. These guys, yeah, it's me and Robert actually, well dressed. You don't see pictures like this very often. And we are hired to McCann. And I have a suspicion. They think we know that this channel has something magic about them. There is something new in that. There is something actually that we know that they don't know about. But I think, and I've always been there, and I think we have to admit that, to be honest about it, it's about how you use them in a creative way. It's the same thing. We don't have the same tools, but we have the same thinking. And I'm going back to my pinball and bowling analogy. I don't know if you know about that, but you know, they had a budget for bowling, and they had the pins. And the budget, the ball, thrown away with some creative idea. And then 8 out of 10 was 80% of the audience down. And that was it. That was advertising at that time. Today, it's much more a pinball field. Much more a platform where you throw away the ball, and then you don't really know where it's going, but you have to follow it. And you have to be very creative on this platform that I call the pinball. And, you know, creativity is in the heart of this. And we are defending creativity. That's why we stand there. And I showed this, sorry. I have to go back. I show you this, because I think it's, you know, creativity is not about this Facebook and YouTube and the new things happening that just a few people know about. It can be like this. I think I have my banana film, found this on YouTube, and I think it says a lot about what creativity is about. And I'll hand over to Robert after this.
So, I learned a new trick yesterday, and it really blew my mind, because I've been eating bananas forever, and I would always try to open it from the stem, like dig my finger in, maybe bite it, get that nice taste of banana in your mouth. But then a friend of mine, Brittany, saw me like struggling with it yesterday and showed me how monkeys open a banana. And you don't open it from the stem, just kind of pinch the tip, it'll split, and you peel it out like that. My whole adult life, I never knew the right way to open a banana, and now you do too.
Yeah, that's great. Applause for Brittany. So, what is opening a banana in the advertising world? I think these two are, to me, the biggest game changers in modern advertising. You've all seen the lemon. Those guys at DB had a problem. They were challenged to sell a car. It was a small car in America. A couple of years after World War II has ended, and in America at that time, selling cars was all about muscle. Huge cars, big engines. And Volkswagen wanted to sell that. So what they did, what they realized they had to do, is to reinvent the game. To come up with something that the world hadn't seen before. And they did this by making fun of themselves. And today we call this the beginning of the creative revolution. And that's because they created something that didn't exist. And to me, the second thing, 2009, the guys at Christian Podolsky, they were also challenged by a problem. There was also, if someone asked me back then, could you do something to solve this with customer service, because it really sucks, it's super expensive, everyone hates it, I would say, well, it sounds like a problem for a consultant of some sort. Could you bring an ad brief? But what they did was this.
Meet the 12th Force, a modern, digitized volunteer army of Best Buy employees available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Twitter. And not to push products or increase sales, but to provide 12, a fancy new term for expert technical help in tweet form. If you have a question, simply tweet @12force and get an answer fast. In fact, for every question tweeted, over 2,000 blue shirts are racing to get the fastest and bestest answer. And you got answers from real Best Buy employees, not from some call center an ocean away. And no questions are out of bounds. No questions are too ridiculous. No questions are ignored. Plus, the collective power of 12force is always watching for tech issue tweets and can quickly lend a hand, even without anyone asking. Since the launch, 12force has answered thousands and thousands of tweets, landed Best Buy in the top 25 social brands of 2009, and helped drive overall customer complaints down by nearly 20% in the first year alone. But most importantly, 12force paved the way for a whole new approach to customer service. Thanks for watching.
A whole new approach to customer service. What they did was they took something that was the biggest problem for the company that had nothing to do with advertising, and they turned it into advertising, and some of the best advertising I've seen. The most interesting thing with these two cases is that I actually think they're the same thing. One is on Twitter, one is in the newspaper, but other than that, I think it's the same thing. They have a real problem, and they found a new way to solve it that one hadn't seen before. And I think for both of them, it paved way for the agency to meet the real decision makers. Because we always talk about meeting the decision makers and we have to get into the boardrooms or whatever. If you come up with an idea like 12force, you have to be in the boardroom. You have to meet the decision makers. And so I don't think that we should disguise ourselves in suits and stuff. We come up with stuff and change the business for the companies that are our clients. There's one big difference between these two, and that's something that I call viewable interaction, which is fairly new. When the DDB guys wanted to monitor how their ad was going, they had to call people. They couldn't take part in the water cooler conversation. And when we 5 years ago did microsites and TVCs pointing people towards the internet, we couldn't take part in their conversation because it was just between them and their computer, and sometimes they emailed us as friends, but we couldn't take part in it. I think viewable interaction is what people are going to talk about in the following years now, because this allows us to see the conversation about our campaign, or about the brands we work with as it happens, which is a beautiful tool, because then we can start to direct our campaigns after they have been launched. So I hope maybe tomorrow night or maybe in the summer, we will get to see campaigns that are directed after they have been launched, that can go new ways, because people are viewing the interaction that's happening online. But that's still just a tool. It's totally worthless if the pinball that Matias was talking about is not in motion. The tools can never set the pinball in motion. You all know this guy. He usually stands about here and he talks about all the tools. Like it was the tools that are what we're supposed to use to put the pinball in motion. This guy knows a lot. He knows everything about social media behavior. He knows everything about the new media landscapes. He comes up with new words for it. He also knows exactly how to get through the women aged between 25 and 35 in big cities on Facebook. There's a big difference between him and Matias. Because usually this guy has never made a successful campaign. Usually this guy has not an office filled with awards. But he probably has a blog. And I'm pretty pissed on this guy. And I'm very very tired of it, because everything something new comes up, this guy will follow. And he will tell you that he knows how to put the pinball in motion, and he will charge you for it. The biggest difference between him and me is that I have no idea. I don't know how to put the pinball in motion. But Matias can tell us how it's done.
Yeah, the truth is, I like this because, I don't know, to be very honest, and it's the truth actually. Now it comes out. I've been pretending for I'm just 32. I've been pretending for 32 years. But we don't know. I have no idea. We don't have that in the creative space. There's a lot of other things. You can buy the right things and yada yada, but the creatives have to have creative freedom where they can push people back and say, guys, I don't know, but I will find out. This guy, how many of you know who Wayne Gretzky was? One. Good. And then I tell you, he's a hockey player. Hockey, you know what hockey is? Yeah, it's on ice. Very dangerous. And then you fight. This is Canada. But Wayne Gretzky was the best player ever in the game. And he once said, I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. And that's the big difference. He doesn't really know, but he was quite good at predicting where the puck was going. And that's what we are, predictors in a way. We don't really know. And this guy, every time the other ones followed and found out how he was moving, he invented a new way. So people were adjusting to him, and then he was reinventing by his creative skills, a new way. And for me, this is so important, to let that freedom be open for everyone. I don't know what the next slide would be, because I can't see that, so I have to cheat myself here looking at this. The systems that people pretend there is for our industry are the followers of Wayne Gretzky. You get it? No, because you don't know who Wayne Gretzky is. But you can look at me as Wayne Gretzky. Okay, I'm going to show you 3 campaigns. You've probably seen them all. But, for 10 years now, the pinball has been moving. And what I think is the red line between these 3 campaigns. One is done by Brisbane guys in London, by us, by Fafa, probably Anders most, and then by Robert. And so we have to show something from ourselves. But there is a red line, but there is no red line. Okay, let's go through them.
Just the way you like it.
There's chicken you serve, and now there's subservient chicken. The subservient chicken will do almost anything you tell him.
With those wings? Watch your beak.
Hey, touch your toes, he'll touch his toes. Hop on one foot, even do the moonwalk.
Chicken, dance. The look
The subservient chicken has become a web sensation.
If you drive people to a website where they can give us subservient chicken orders in a really kind of seamy living room that looks like a low-quality porn film, people are going to be interested.
This will go down as one of the marketing case studies of all time. It's called viral marketing. Instead of launching a flashy TV ad campaign, the ad agency for Burger King was charged with reaching young people, especially males 20 to 30. The average person on this site stays 6+ minutes. That's a long time.
10 people at the agency told their friends who told their friends, millions of hits every day to order around the chicken, and they sold a lot of chicken at Burger King.
They hit it out of the park with this one.
Did you see that one? They called it viral advertising. It's 2005. And then everyone, this thing was quite under the radar, the client wasn't really on it, but they put it out because they had a sense they could predict. They didn't know. They could predict that this was changing advertising. And it did, actually. Next one. You know, 2006, we did this for Diesel, under the radar anyway. We were one shop stop, and because they had this big agency working for them. But after this, it was a great success. We had millions and millions on the webpage. It was like, oh, this is changing things for us. So then they wanted us as their agency for everything. But they kept on repeating us to do this. And others came in the door and said, like, we want something like Alice. And I think lots of you guys had the same problem, actually. Because people want to follow. We have these I know it all guys that actually knows what's going on. And hopefully tonight we will see things that change this. This is something that this humble guy did last year, 2 years ago, and won the Titanium McCann. I show you. This one, the red line between these are that it's not the same thing. It's changing. The channels are there, or when we did Diesel, the media industry, and I mean the media, the media agent and carrot guys, that had no idea about how to cluster this, and then they came up with, oh, it's social media, let's call it social media, let's sell it, and then the experts came in. But at that time, we used that, those channels. Same thing here, Facebook was on, but they changed how they used it in a creative way. From a white piece of paper, with a creative freedom, both from clients, and from plans, and from owners of companies. And 2012, I have no idea. I don't know what will happen. But with some creative freedom, probably we will change the advertising industry to be interesting. And that's the most important thing. To be interesting to the people we want to reach. Because if we're not interested to the people we want to reach, we're dead. I don't know if you know, Robert, but take it on.
I can tell you what's not going to happen. The beautiful thing with advertising is that we have no idea what's going to happen next year. What's not going to happen, this guy will not make the claim that he's going to be talking about. Because this guy is not into systems. And the next big thing will not come through proven models. And it's interesting, the system, because when I did Facebook showing together with Adam, who's sitting right there, can you stand up and wave to the audience, please? A little. Adam is a genius, and I'm the lazy guy. But it's interesting with the systems, because after all the success we had in Facebook showing, we traveled and held speeches and stuff. All of a sudden, we were starting to try to come up with ideas that were similar to Facebook showing. We were, without knowing, of course, all of a sudden trying to build a little system of our own. Or at least I did, as I said, I'm lazy. So I remember trying to think, okay, if we did that, what's the next step? How can we make this happen again? Can we kidnap something in YouTube? Can we do this, do that? And it took a while for us to, or at least for me, to break free from that. And I started to think, why do we love systems? It's because it's simple. It's because systems are safety. With creativity is just something we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And that scares people. And that scares, this used to scare me and Adam too, but not anymore, because now we know that that's where we have to be. But it scares everyone else. So that's why a guy like this can make money. That's why he can travel the world and give people systems, recipes, because people want them. And I mean, sometimes systems are good. I hate flying. I absolutely hate flying. But I know that these guys have a system. They have to check. If something happens, they know exactly what to do because they can follow a proven model. And that makes me safe. And hopefully it makes them a bit safer too. But we're not pilots in this industry. We're creatives, or we buy advertising, or account people that we can't lock ourselves into the system. We have to break free all the time. And I've seen social cookbooks. I've seen loads of models of how do we reach our target group within Facebook. Like, should we have a Facebook page for women and men? It's just lonely. It's nothing. Because we need to break free and come up with new things that makes us interesting, like Matias said. And the best way to make sure that you're not stuck in a system is to say to yourself that I don't know. And this is important. It's important for creatives to say this to themselves, because that's without admitting that they don't know. They don't have creative freedom. And you guys that are clients or